Good morning, this is Chuck. Welcome to your morning drive. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day. I was just reading a little something I just happened to run across there, and it said that apparently that Congress and Senate has decided to do a partial funding on some more border wall, which I think is pretty good. I think we need to do that because there's a lot of people that come up from Mexico, bring diseases, come up here illegally, don't do things right. If you want to be in this country, do it right. That's what I have no problem with people coming here, but do it right. Don't sneak in here then expect us to give you everything: money, food, lodging, health care, jobs. And that seems to be what happens. People like me, regular people, we struggle. Last year I paid personally $12,000 for insurance through my company. $12,000. And some of these immigrants coming here getting it free. But the most interesting thing I saw in that little article I was reading is that the meetings over this were private, and a couple of congressional aides had made comments on it but wanted to remain anonymous because it was private meetings. And that's our government, and they're supposed to be doing what's in our best interest. So why are the meetings private over something like a border wall? Do the ones that voted for it don't want people to know they voted for it because they've been against it, and in reality they realize it's a good idea? But that really bothers me. Something as simple as that should not be a private meeting. It should be an open forum. I really don't see much of a reason there should ever be a private meeting, anything in Congress or Senate or anything like that that has anything to do with us. That should all be open to we the people, so we know what those guys up there are doing, whether it's in our best interest or their best interest. And if it's in their best interest and we see them doing that, they need to be booted out of there. Because there's too much going on in our government now that is not in our best interest. Look at all these congressmen and senators. They make $100,000 a year, say $150,000 a year. I would love to make $150,000 a year, and somehow on that, they're all millionaires, or the vast majority of them. As far as groupings, they have one of the largest groupings of millionaires of any group I know of. But they're not, basically you'd have to work, 7 or 8 years at that and save every dime you had to be a millionaire. I've seen pictures of some of these people's houses and some of the travels they do, which I've come to realize that we're paying for. Is like that whole Pelosi thing during the shutdown. She was wanting to go take a bunch of people and use the military aircraft to go over to this little meeting. Well, it sure sounded a lot like a vacation to me. And why spend government funds on something like that during a government shutdown where you're still getting paid, but all those government employees are not? And you're going to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to take yourself and another group over somewhere on what appears to be a vacation for a meeting? Let's get real, people. We're getting screwed by our own government. That's where we really need to push, and I've said this before, for term limits on congressmen and senators and lobbyists. If you are a lobbyist or doing anything like lobbying at all, especially if money's involved, because there's that millionaire thing again, money, you shouldn't be allowed anywhere near congressmen or senators, because that's not what the people want. As far as the people in the United States, that's what big corporations want. Think about it. I'm not the smartest person in the world. I go on what I've read and I try to find the truth to what I'm reading, and these are just my opinions and my thoughts. But look it up, people. They're making millions of dollars, living lavish lifestyles, and not doing what we want. If Trump and the congressmen and the senators could all work together, it'd be great. I just saw another article that we're going to have to borrow like another $1 trillion to keep the United States running. For what's supposed to be one of the best countries in the world, why are we having to borrow $1 trillion? Why do we have congressmen and senators that make $150,000 a year that are multimillionaires and are taking these business trips that appear to be vacations? Doesn't make any sense to me at all. I would hate to be up there and see that. If I ever got elected to be a congressman or senator, I'd probably wind up getting assassinated because they would not like me. They'd hate me just as much as they hate Trump. because I'd be pushing for the term limits. I'd be pushing for lowering of the salaries, no raises. Oh, and here's another thing that really perturbs me. After I retire, I might get Social Security if there's anything left by that time. Okay, you're a congressman or senator. You get a salary for life, you get health care for life, and probably get Secret Service protection. Okay, Secret Service protection, not 100% sure about that, don't need. No, you're out. Anything you might know, they've changed codes or whatever, just like the president. Gone. And just like the president. Okay, they've been the president of the United States. Woohoo, they can only do it for 8 years. You're done after that. No insurance, no continuing pay. I mean, why? I mean, I think at one time we had 5 living ex-presidents, all making, I think the president makes what, $300,000 or $400,000 a year? I mean, look at how much money we're putting out to that, and we wonder why our national debt's so bad and we're having to borrow trillions of dollars and our debt's trillions of dollars. I mean, think about it. Those people are living their own lifestyle, doing what they want. I mean, you know, they get paid after they retire. They get health care after they retire. They get their own private health care that they've gotten for themselves, not what all the rest of us have to have. You know, whatever the national average salary is for the United States, that's what a congressman and senator ought to make. Whatever the average level of health care for the average citizen of the United States, that's the health care they should get. And then once they're done, that's why there need to be term limits. They don't need to make a career out of it. That's not what it was designed to do. They need to go back to doing whatever they've done before. I mean, a lot of them was lawyers and stuff, but some of them are career politicians that started out, you know, local city and county level, moved up to the state level, moved up to the national level. That's all they've ever done. Politics was not designed for that. We weren't designed to pay these people all this money for the rest of their lives once they're in. I mean, if I could get to be a congressman, you know, even if we had term limits, they don't change anything else. Say you can only do 2 4-year terms. It's 8 years. Then I get $150,000 for the rest of my life. If I can do that at 30 years old, so I'm 38 when I get done, I could live very comfortably on $150,000 a year and not have to get off my worthless ass. And they're not even getting off their worthless asses and doing anything for us now. People need to see this. I mean, I'm not the smartest person in the world. I just go off what I'm seeing, and it all appears to be true. But, you know, I challenge everyone that hears what I'm saying. Get on the internet, talk to other people, find out what's true, find out what's not right, and let's change it. Otherwise, they're going to run our country into the ground. And here's another one. They want to separate church and state. You know, can't have prayer in schools unless you're a certain religion from other countries that have to have their prayer time and do this. They allow that. Okay, I can't pray in school, but you can come into this country and say, well, you're going to let me pray in school the way I want to. No. I mean, that was ridiculous when they first done that. I just don't understand it. We let everybody take control of our country and do what we want, and the mass majority of us just sit there, you know, thumb up butt. Oh, it'll be okay. Well, obviously it's not, people. We're going to have to get off our butts and do something. I mean, I'm the world's worst. I don't vote on a regular basis. I mean, I didn't vote for president because I honestly didn't think either one of them was a good choice. I think Trump was the lesser of two evils, and that's why I say it, lesser of two evils. Neither one of them was a good choice. I think Trump will try to do some good things. Whether he actually will be allowed to do it since everyone hates him so bad, don't know. And I know I'm rambling about politics. I don't like talking about politics because people get heated. They get upset. I'm a Republican. I'm a Democrat. Blah, 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 blah. I'll tell you right now, I'm neither. I do not believe in Republicans. I do not believe in Democrats. I believe in voting for the person you think will do the best job. And right now, probably 95% of the people up there, I do not think are doing their job properly. If I don't do my job like my bosses want, I'm gone, fired, out the door. Then I have no insurance, no salary, nothing. I can find a job. With them, they can do anything they want up there. They don't have to listen to us. They can vote how they want to, yet they still get paid. Government shuts down, they still get paid. Government shuts down, they still have insurance. Government shuts down, they still try to take vacations. And that is the one thing I will say. Now, it might have been spiteful on Trump's part, but when he shut Pelosi or whatever her name down, when she was trying to make that trip during the government shutdown, I don't care if it's spite or not. That was a smart, wonderful thing. She's one of the major causes of the government shutdown because she couldn't agree with Trump. I mean, Trump won't back down. She wouldn't back down. And that's why the government shut down. Because they're arguing back and forth like two little 2-year-olds. President Trump 2-year-old, Congress and Senate 2-year-old. So you got a bunch of whiny little babies up there that cause a government shutdown, and she wants to go take what I'm calling a vacation on our dime. She's still getting paid. Government workers aren't getting paid. And who knows, some of the military that's going to have to escort them and take them and fly them if they were getting paid. I don't know how far the shutdown went on that. I know that now living in Tennessee, national park shut down. Nobody's picking up trash. Nobody's maintaining anything. Certain areas was closed. And that's a big thing for the East Tennessee area. The Smoky Mountains are a huge tourist thing. And for that to be shut down, that cost us money. So not only was it hurting the people in the government that weren't getting paid, people that had shops in Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, anywhere around there, motels, everything. People weren't coming there because they couldn't get in to see everything. Or they couldn't get in because it's closed. Trash was piling up everywhere because nobody's picking up trash. Volunteers are having to go in and try to pick up some of the trash to make it look halfway decent. And did our government care? I never saw any caring from any of those at all that were on TV. All they were like is, Trump's going to give in, we can't do this. And Trump's like, well, they're going to have to give in, we're going to build the wall. I never heard anybody say, I'm real sorry this is happening, it's costing people, they're not getting paid, I'm sure they probably got it made up later once everything got in operation. But for that period of time, they're not getting paid. And some of them have to continue to do their jobs. It doesn't make sense. But everybody needs to get a look at that. And we need to figure out some way to fix our country because our government isn't going to fix it for us. We, the people, are going to have to fix our government. Hope everybody has a wonderful day.